It's the then versus now challenge! 3!
Welcome back, fans.
Wow. I can't believe this is the last quarterfinal race. So let's get right into it and meet today's racers. Up first, we have a racer that's become a fan favorite. That's right, it's Ms. Shelley Harper from San Francisco, California, in the now world-famous 2019 VW Beetle convertible. And she has been with us since all the way back in qualifying race 2. And even if she doesn't win this tournament, she has already set 2 records here at the Scrapyard. The first one is for the most costume changes of any racer here at the Scrapyard. And her first record comes as a result of her second one, because she has spent more time than any other driver on the Scrapyard track. And no, not as a driver, I mean literally on the track, because she has been ejected from her car more times than any other driver in our channel's history. But even still, she made it through the qualifying rounds, and in race 2 of the tournament, she faced the heavily favored German driver Emma Ranz in the 1962 VW Beetle, where yet again, Shelley was thrown from her car, and that little convertible was able to win heats all on its own.
Up next, we have a celebrity from the world of diecast racing. It's the one, the only, the legend from Norm and Vern Racing. It's the V-Man, aka Vern Davis, in his beautiful 1992 Mercedes-Benz 500E. And he's back all the way from his hometown of Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. And in race 4, he proved it's not always about high-priced, heavily teched-out horsepower machines. That when it comes to winning races, sometimes it's just about being the best. And the V-Man showed he had the skills it took to come out on top in a very bitter and very difficult battle to his way to the quarterfinals here today.
And back to Team Now, from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in the 2002 Civic Si, it's Mr. Oliver Cooper. Mr. Cooper has been with us since the qualifying rounds, where he competed in one of the most brutal races of this tournament. That race had it all, from the guillotine gate malfunctioning to cars launching themselves full speed into the camera. It was wild, but the calamity didn't stop there. Things were just as wild in race 6 of the tournament, where Mr. Cooper had to fight for his place here today by facing Matthias Rollins in the pocket-sized N600. That race was so crazy, we even had to run a disclaimer to remind everyone just how seriously we take safety here at the Scrapyard. It was classic Scrapyard diecast racing action.
And speaking of classics, that brings us to our last competitor. It's the classic, never seen on American roads, 1994 Renault Twingo, driven by Miss Marie-Claire Duchamp, all the way back from her famous hometown of Le Mans, France. And if you've been following this tournament, then you already know Miss Duchamp competed in our second ever 2 against 1 race with fellow team then partner Miss Sylvie Lalonde in her equally classic Renault 5 TL Le Car. And those 2 ladies made quick work of Team Now's Andre Marchand. The 2 of them look like a tag team from the glory days of the gorgeous ladies of wrestling, the way they delivered a perfect shutout victory for Team Then.
And last but not least, it's our all-new clunker for round 2. And if you remember from round 1, if the clunker passes you to the finish line, you lose a point for that heat.
Great! Now let's get up to the guillotine gate and get this race started. Finally, here we are at the guillotine gate for heat 1.
In lane 1, it's Shelley Harper in the Beetle convertible. In lane 2, it's the V-Man. Lane 3 is our clunker. In lane 4 is Marie Duchamp in the Twingo. And closing us out in lane 5 is Oliver Cooper in the Civic Si.
Good luck to all racers. Now let's get to that countdown.
3, 2, 1, go!
Shelley flips!
Massive block by the clunker. The Twingo and the Civic are out.
Shelley and the V-Man make the jump. They're neck and neck.
V-Man cuts across and is over the line and takes the win.
And Shelley Harper comes in a very close second. Man, we need to see that again, Barry. Looks like Shelley Harper wasted 0 time getting herself in close contact with the track. Because she flips that Beetle over and gets her helmet reacquainted with the blacktop here at the Scrapyard.
Meanwhile, both members of Team Then pulled off a beautiful 90-degree block. They looked like synchronized swimmers. That move was so perfectly timed. But I guess when you have a pro like the V-Man on your team, pulling off even the most difficult moves are made to look easy.
But then in Carmine Corner, Shelly Harper is able to get that Beetle back on its wheels and avoid the wrath of the Clunker. Just look at this, Barry. The Clunker lands on the V-Man, causing him to flip, and then he does some kind of kamikaze block, landing perpendicular on the track right in front of the Twingo, and that causes a hard collision between Duchamp's Twingo and Oliver Cooper's Civic, and that kicked in the emergency shutoff on both cars, and they limped to a halt.
But two racers not ready to halt were Miss Harper and the V-Man, because they both sail over the jump. And the V-Man once again proves how much of a pro he is, because he's able to come off that jump on his roof and flip that Mercedes over to land on his wheels.
That was a cool move, and I think it may have even distracted Shelly, because she veers off the road and sends some clunkers over the edge. But she quickly gets her head and her helmet back in the race, and she is fender to fender with the V-Man as they leave Clunker Canyon. Then coming into the boulevard, both racers cut across the track, but the V-Man edges out a lead and crosses the line for the win.
And Shelly had that Beetle all out and finished in a very respectable second. And that results in the V-Man getting 5 big points for that win. But not too far behind is Miss Harper with 3 points of her own.
Heat 2. Mandatory lane changes shifts our racers around.
The V-Man is now in the pole position. 1 lane to his right is Oliver Cooper's blue Civic. In lane 3 is our Clunker. Shelly Harper shifts to the back row in lane 4, and Marie-Claire Duchamp and the Twingo close out the group in lane 5.
3, 2, 1, go!
And they're off. Through the bottleneck. Shelly flips! Now everyone flips! Cooper is through!
The V-Man gives chase!
V-Man misses the block! Cooper sneaks through!
Wow! Let's see that again in the replay, Al.
Another great heat, Barry. Everyone kept it relatively clean coming down Nevada.
Then in the bottleneck, the Clunker pulls off a pit maneuver on Shelly Harper's Beetle while blocking the Twingo at the same time.
And yet again, Shelly flips her Beetle over to get some helmet time with the blacktop. I will say, at least she's managed to stay in her car this time.
So far.
Right, so far. This is only Heat 2.
Then everyone goes end over end coming off the jump in Clunker Canyon.
Oliver Cooper goes hard into the car carriers and goes spinning wildly trying to regain control of that Honda.
Well, someone who had an abundance of control was the V-Man, because he was able to steer around Shelly's Beetle and block her to a stop against the Clunkers, all while sending a few over the side to put on a pyrotechnic show for the fans.
Well, he is a pro racer, so it makes sense he'd also be a pro show-off.
But apparently even the pros can make miscalculations, because he manages to get ahead of Oliver Cooper and cut him off. But he gets just a little too close to the wall, and that sends him ricocheting into the other side of the track. And while he was able to recover quickly, it was not quick enough to prevent allowing Oliver Cooper to sneak across the line.
Well, one place Oliver Cooper is not sneaking onto is the scorecard, because while the V-Man stays in first place overall, Oliver Cooper just stole second place from Shelly Harper.
We are back at the Guillotine Gate for Heat 3.
Oliver Cooper, fresh off his win, is in the pole position. The Twingo makes it to the front line in lane 2. As always, in lane 3 is our Clunker. The V-Man is center screen in lane 4. And Shelly Harper, with a fresh new scratch-free helmet, is in lane 5.
3, 2, 1, go!
Cooper leads.
He flips! V-Man has a blowout and is out!
Everyone is hard off the jump.
Cooper and Shelley are locked at the fenders. Shelley blocks.
It's a battle!
Shelley is first across the line. Wow, that was so close I need to see it all again. Ow.
Did you see Oliver Cooper, Barry? He definitely had the VTEC kick in the way he launched out of the gate.
But our remote control clunker relies on good old-fashioned raw horsepower. And he caught up in the bottleneck and sent Cooper flipping.
Well, someone else who must have been flipping was the V-Man. Because I'm sure he wasn't too happy with his 500E having a double blowout, causing him to lose 2 tires so early in the race.
And professional or not, no one is winning any races when half your car is on rims.
Well, in Clunker Canyon, the rest of the group was on their roofs, which makes it seem like everyone is having trouble landing that jump clean in this race. And in the wide shot, we could see that for the second heat in a row, Oliver Cooper goes spinning wildly trying to regain control of that Honda.
But it looks like Oliver and Miss Harper got their side view mirrors locked in that bang-up and can't get their cars loose as they try to leave Clunker Canyon.
But it looks like Shelley decides, since she can't shake Oliver off, she's gonna slam into him and force both cars into the wall. And it also looks like Shelley was paying attention to our last replay, because she avoids going into the opposite wall like the V-Man and instead cuts in to block. It's like she's telling that blue Civic, there will be no sneaking across the line this time, Mr. Cooper. And she makes it across the line first, with Mr. Cooper right on her bumper.
And with that 1-2 finish by the members of Team Now, we have our first ever 3-way tie for first place. Everyone has 8 points, except for Miss Marie Claire Duchamp, who has been unable to cross the line in her Twingo. But she'll have to wait for her chance to score, because now it's time for our halftime show with the newest addition to the Scrapyard with the amazing stunt woman, Captain Terabelle.
Oh, no, it's not time for no halftime show.
What?
We have a 3-way tie for first place. That has never ever happened before in Scrapyard history. Sorry fans, after this race is over, you'll have to watch one of our other quarterfinal races if you want to see Captain Terabelle perform.
Perform? You mean crash?
No, what I mean is, we're going back up to the guillotine gate right now and starting heat 4. And here we are. We have a 3-way tie for first place, and this heat is essential to break that tie. In fact, I'm so excited to get this one started, I'm just gonna ask you great fans at home to look at the screen, see who's in which lane, and let's not waste any more time, and let's get racing. Hit that countdown button, Barry.
3, 2, 1, go!
Barrel roll in the bottleneck.
Into the safety crew!
The Civic is out.
The Twingo pulls through!
The V-Man and Shelley are out.
Marie Duchamp all alone and across the line! Wow! What an incredible performance!
This just blows my mind, Barry. Shelley Harper had a huge lead coming down Nevada, but she totally blows it by barrel rolling in the bottleneck. Man, she cannot avoid keeping her helmet off the track. But hey, at least she's been able to stay inside her car this whole race. For now.
But then in Carmine Corner, Marie Claire Duchamp pulls off her own barrel roll from the inside lane and delivers a devastating block, sending Shelley Harper back onto her helmet.
Meanwhile, the Civic has all types of trouble and slams into one of the safety crew's vehicles.
And that's why I had this platform installed.
What are you talking about, Wow Bob?
You see, I had this here platform installed to raise up the Yellow Jacket to keep her safe from these here exact type of smash-up incidents. And the ways I'm figuring, as head of the safety crew, looking after the safety of the Yellow Jacket and her crew, which is me, is literally in my job title.
Well, Bob, I don't think that's how the safety crew is supposed to work.
Moving on. Just like Marie-Claire Duchamp was moving on in the Twingo, with a huge lead coming into Clunker Canyon.
In the wide shot, we can see that she did pull off an amazing-looking J-turn. I think even an old pro like the V-Man was so impressed he had to pull over to applaud.
Then Miss Duchamp, who has had problems getting across the finish, lines up in the boulevard and gives that little Twingo everything it has and rockets across the line.
And that performance is why at the start of the replay I said this is blowing my mind. Because with that win, Miss Duchamp just turned the heat that I thought would break the three-way tie and turn this race into anyone's game.
It's the final heat. We are back to the Heat 1 lineup. Shelly Harper in Lane 1, the V-Man in Lane 2, our Clunker in Lane 3. Lane 4 is Marie-Claire Duchamp in the Twingo, and Lane 5 is Oliver Cooper's Civic SI.
This race is so up in the air right now, Barry. If the Twingo comes in first place again, she could steal the whole event after being scoreless for so long. This one is gonna be wild. Okay, no more blabbing. Let's get to that countdown.
Al, the only one blabbing is you.
Oh yeah, sorry.
3, 2, 1, go!
Let's go!
Upside down calamity!
The Twingo is out! The V-Man all alone!
Shelly Harper is out! It's the V-Man across the line!
Whoa! Did you see that? He's sending a message. He just crossed the finish line twice.
Okay, slow it down, Al. We'll break it all down in the replay.
This just blows my mind again, Barry. All four racers and the Clunker keep things relatively clean coming down Nevada, and they maintain their composure making their way through the bottleneck. But then, out of nowhere, boom! Everyone is on their roofs in Carmine Corner. Except for Shelly, I drive on my helmet Harper, but she quickly makes up for it by scraping her helmet yet again coming off the jump in Clunker Canyon.
And unfortunately, the heat ends there as well for Marie-Claire Duchamp's Twingo and Oliver Cooper in the Civic. Then in the wide shot, we could see what racing professionalism truly looks like when the V-Man effortlessly spins that Mercedes around and gets that engine firing on all cylinders.
Then, my favorite part, in what was an anyone's heat game, the V-Man straightens up, and not only does he cross the line, he does it twice, just to remove any doubt. It's like he's saying, you want to know who won this race? Me! That's who!
But with that performance, while the V-Man left no doubt who won first place, we now do have doubt who's in second.
Who?
Who's in second?
That's what I said, who?
Al, don't even try to start that old gag, especially not when it's time for... Sudden death. I guess while we were robbed of a show by the amazing Captain Tara Bell, a sudden death match is a delicious consolation prize.
Okay, everyone should know the rules by now. But if not, the first one to cross the line will be joining the V-Man in the semifinals. In Lane 1, it's our remote-controlled Clunker. In Lane 2, it's Shelly the Helmet Harper. In Lane 3, it's Oliver Cooper in the Civic SI. Let's do this.
3, 2, 1, go!
Civic in the air!
Harper on her helmet!
Both cars upside down! Clunker pulls off a J-turn! Clunker makes it across the line!
I don't believe this! I need to see that again. Replay time, Barry! How is it possible that my mind is blown for a third time in a row, Barry?
Luckily, you have such little mind to blow, Al.
Hey!
Unlike Oliver Cooper, who was blown through the air like a maple leaf in October. But then in Carmine Corner, Shelly Harper pulls off a barrel roll using her helmet. Hey, Al, Maybe you should borrow one of Shelly's many helmets to protect your delicate little mind from being blown.
Not funny, Barry, but I'll tell you what did get blown in Clunker Canyon. Oliver Cooper and Shelly Harper's chances at winning, because they both come to a halt while the Clunker pulls off a remote-controlled J-turn and speeds out of the canyon.
Right, Al. And then the Clunker rockets across the line, and it makes Scrapyard history for being the first ever Clunker to win a sudden death match. So you know what that means.
It means another sudden death heat.
The Clunker remains in lane 1. However, mandatory lane change now sees Oliver Cooper's blue Civic SI in lane 2, which moves Shelly Harper and the Beetle convertible into lane 3.
3, 2, 1, go!
So close! Harper on her helmet again! Tumbling off the jump!
The Clunker is out! Oliver Cooper is out!
Shelly Cooper in reverse and across the line!
How's your mind holding up this time, Al?
It's just awesome, Barry. Because after an intense battle, we finally have a result. Shelly Harper had a huge lead coming into Carmine Corner, and staying true to form, she comes off the jump and lands on her helmet.
But she's able to make it past the jump, unlike the Clunker and Oliver Cooper, who watches his chances in this tournament come to an explosive end.
And yet someone who was ready to put an end to this whole event was Shelly the Helmet Harper, because she throws that Beetle in reverse and flies down the boulevard. And then she uses the tire wall to spin that VW around for a beautiful photo finish to bring these sudden death matches to a close. With that win, Shelly the Helmet Harper has once again literally used her head to advance to the next round,
where she will be going with tonight's winner, the B-Man, who used all his skills, talents, and experience to be the last surviving member of Team Then in Group 2. We're counting on you, big guy.
Counting on you to lose, because Team Now has a mega advantage going into the semifinals in both Group 1 and now in Group 2.
Well, fans, we hope you've enjoyed our last quarterfinal race.
That's right, Barry. The next time we meet for this event, the Then vs. Now Challenge 3 will be in the semifinals. And again, we'll most likely alter the track somehow to up the excitement even more.
If you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and please leave us a comment below to let us know what you thought of this race.
And be sure to like and share this video, or even better, subscribe to our channel so you never miss a race. But in the meanwhile, be sure to check out our playlist to catch up on all our other tournaments and events. And if that's still not enough Scrapyard Diecast racing action for you, go check out our Shorts channel and subscribe.
It's the Then vs. Now Challenge! 3,